What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about flying standby and what does this mean and how do you do it. So let's jump into it. Alright, so if you're flying standby, you either know somebody that works for an airline, you know you got that plug, you got the connect, or maybe you're trying to get on an earlier flight or maybe a later flight that you may already have. So these are some tips and what to know when you are flying standby. So in my case, I got the plug, I got a little hookup through someone I know that works in the airline. I got hooked up with a Buddypass. These standby flights are usually extremely discounted, almost free, I wanna say. In my case, that I flew to Toronto to LA round trip for $300 Canadian, which is essentially nothing. For that, it would normally cost you like $700-800. When you are flying standby, you're essentially the very last person on the plane or access to the plane. In my experience, it's better to go early. If you are flying standby on these buddy passes, you roll up to the airport, you check in, you either let them know that you're flying standby, but chances are they'll already know. So you check your bags, you go through security, and the first thing that you want to do is you want to roll up to whatever gate that you're leaving from and just talk to the people at the front. Be like, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm flying standby. Normally what'll happen is they'll say, okay, we can't give out seats right now, but there is a likely chance that you'll get on the flight or you won't get on. Maybe the flight is fully booked and then you potentially won't get on. If there's not a lot of people on the flight, they may just issue you a seat right there. But a normal time is about 30 minutes to boarding time. They'll be like, all right, come back at this specific time, usually 30 minutes before boarding, and then talk to us then. I will say that try to be as nice as possible. You want to be super friendly. Nobody wants to deal with a jerk. If you try to demand stuff, it won't look good on you and it definitely won't look good on the connection that you do have to the airline. I will say again, remember that if you are flying on standby, if you do have a buddy pass, that you want to dress the part. You don't want to be rolling up to the airport in ripped jeans, a hoodie or a tank top on. Nobody likes that person. Yeah, I understand if you're going to somewhere warm, but you want to be more conservative, you want to blend in. Some airlines have specific rules that you have to abide by, maybe wear a dress shirt with pants that aren't jeans, with fully covered shoes. I do know of a couple years ago there was an incident where a couple girls were wearing tights and whatever, and they were denied access to the plane and they were flying on the buddy pass. And yeah, you definitely don't want that to be you. So you have to do your research and see what the rules and regulations are. In my personal case, I was able to get on with a sweater, some black pants, and some shoes. Yeah, I was just pretty much wearing just all black. I blended in, I was super nice. Cause nobody wants a random homeless looking person to get on the plane. It's kind of like a brand thing. You are representing the airline when you are on these standby or buddy pass flights. So you want to look the part. You're not going to show up to work looking like a homeless person. Definitely don't ask. Be like, yo, I need a window seat. The seat isn't good enough. Because you have to be lucky and thankful that you were even on the plane to begin with, especially at such a discounted rate. Don't ask. If they ask you, be like, yeah, I would prefer a window seat, but it's not a must. Normally they'll ask you, they'll be like, all right, we have a couple options for you. Which one do you want? Do you want the aisle or you want middle? If the flight is full and they do deny you access, don't be that guy who tries to cause a scene oh, I paid for this flight, I deserve to be on it, I demand a seat. No, actually you don't deserve a seat and you were on standby. So try to be as nice as possible. If you do get denied, be like, oh, all right, thank you. Would there be another flight, today? Or how would I go about getting on the next flight? Or what are my options from here? Definitely have a backup plan just to be safe. On the safe side, you never want to get stranded somewhere because that's never a good look. Once you're on the plane, remember that you have to be on your best behavior because you're still representing the airline, and best believe all the people that are working on that flight know you're on standby, and it's definitely not a good look to be, you know, if you get on the plane, you start wilding out, start creating a ruckus, be like, yo, I'm on the plane, yeah, you don't want that to be you. You do want to be on your best behavior. You know, maybe try to bring like a snack or two, a bag of chocolates for, you know, the flight attendants. That'll go a long way. You know, try to make their job as easy as possible. Definitely don't leave any junk. Overall, I found flying standby super stressful. Like, the first flight was to LA was good. We were pretty much good to go. There was a lot of room on the plane, but flying home, I think there was only like 5 seats left, so I was stressing. I was like, what if I don't get on the plane? What is my backup option? Normally flights from LA to Toronto and Toronto to LA only happen once a day, so I was super stressed. I was like, holy, what happens if I don't get on the plane? I ended up getting on the plane. No issues, just more stress than I normally would have. You also have to be extremely flexible with all these times because you don't really have an option. Like, if you do get stuck somewhere and you have work the next day, then you're gonna be like, oh snap, I have to cancel work. It's gonna look bad on me now. And you have to be flexible. If you don't get on one flight, try to figure out what your other option is. Maybe it requires you to stay overnight at the destination that you are at, so that would suck, but you know, you have to be flexible, you have to be lenient. And in my case, I ended up getting a window seat on the way to LA, and then I ended up getting the aisle seat on the way back, which was perfectly fine with me. It fit super comfortably. I was happy with that, no issues. And I got to sit with my friends, which is also beautiful and key. Yeah, overall, I think flying standby or, you know, flying on a Buddypass is super worth it. And, you know, the price is crazy discounted. It's super amazing. In my case, I wasn't flying too far. Like, I wasn't flying from like Canada to like Europe or Asia anywhere. But in my personal case, flying from Toronto to LA and back was perfect. I would do it again. I would recommend you having that backup plan just in case it doesn't work. You know, it was my first time, so it was kind of nerve-wracking. I didn't really know what to expect. Crazy trip. It was super cheap, obviously, and I would definitely do it again. And that's all I have for this video. If you did like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any other video ideas, or you want me to make a part 2 to this video if it wasn't really informative enough for you, I'll make a part 2. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And until the next video, peace.